What's up, y'all? I'm back. I lost a bet, so that's why I'm wearing all green. But I want to talk about today. This one topic that I did record a video about a while ago. I think it was last week, but I didn't end up uploading it because I wasn't really proud of it. And I think I mentioned this last episode or last video, where I recorded it while drawing. The camera was really close to my face. The angle was really awkward. I was not proud of it. And I rambled on too much. I didn't really know what to talk about, and I kind of landed on the topic halfway. So not really proud of that. I deleted it. I'm doing it again now that I've thought about it more. I want to talk about media consumption. You can probably see it on the title up above if you're on... Actually, it's... Well, I don't know. Sometimes it's up top, sometimes it's on the bottom. Who gives a fuck? But basically, it's because it's been really on my mind for the last about 3 years. For context, I'm 21 right now, and it's been ever since I started college. It's really been on my mind because ever since I was finishing high school, because I'm the type of person that I want to do a bit of everything, and then everything I do want to get into, I want to like get really into it. Like I want to learn as much as I can about it. I look up YouTube videos about the whole history of the fan base and everything I can find. Like I try to look at the old stuff and the new stuff and the popular stuff, some of the more underrated stuff. Not because I want to be like, not for any like sense of elitism or anything, but rather because I just want to know as much about it as possible, right? It's fun for me. And I want to get as good at it as possible, like the perfectionist in me. But when you get into so many things, it really takes a lot of your time, especially now as an adult. Because like, okay, in my case, you guys know I like anime and manga. Like anime, I like tokusatsu. Right here, you can barely see it. Those are my manga shelves. I have a bunch of them. I like music, right? I've been talking about this for a while with some friends. I want to get into singing music. I want to get into playing music. I'm a writer too. I've been writing for a while. I'm getting into YouTube. I'm an artist. And I want to get into a bunch of other things too. Like, for example, collecting like vinyl records and new kinds of music. Like I want to get into metal. I want to get into K-pop a little bit more because I did start getting into it like a couple months ago, and I found one artist that I really liked, one band, Lara Seraphim. I really liked them. But again, getting into so many things all at once, it saps all of your time, right? Let's go into another thing, right? Tokusatsu. I got into it last year. I've watched I think over 1,000 episodes of Tokusatsu by now. That's without counting movies, no specials, no nothing, right? And I still have so much more I want to watch. Video games, right? I talked about this to my friends. I've played Persona 5. I've played Shin Megami Tensei 5. I played Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivors Overclocked, but haven't finished any of them. And I want to finish them. I also want to play Persona 3. P3R probably, if not like P3 FES. I want to play Persona 4 too. I want to play fucking other Shin Megami games. I want to play Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I have no way of playing right now because my laptop can't run Wii U games. I don't have a Wii U. According to Midori, if he still like got information, a port is coming, but fuck knows fuck knows when that's coming. Like there's so much stuff I want to play. Like fighting games. I bought a Super Famicom just so I could play the Sailor Moon fighting game, the original one, on original hardware. Because I just hit Sailor Moon, right? But then there's so many other fighting games I want to get into. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 just came out on the Switch. I want to get into that, right? As a Kamen Rider fan, I also want to get into the trashy PS2 era Kamen Rider fighting games, like the Phase one and the Blade one and the Agito one. Even though I know they're probably shit, but who cares, right? But I just want to try, right? But there's so much I want to do, but there's so little time. And I think, for me, another thing that's kind of been a detriment to that is burnout. Because when I really like dive into something and I'm like, okay, one show, done, next show, it burns me the fuck out instantly. I get so bored. Like fuck, during COVID, I was binging so many shonen anime and manga. Like during COVID era, that's when I caught up to like Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, My Hero, Bleach, Under Unlock, Haikyuu, Black Clover. I already read JoJo by the time. Orient, Magi. I'm looking over at my shelf to remember exactly how much I read during that. Chainsaw Man, Act Age, Fire Punch. So much, and it Demon Slayer, and it burned me out. I got really fucking tired of it. Spy Family 2 and Dandadan, right? I got tired of shonen, man. That's why when I started college, I got more into shoujo. Because I was a little bit tired of the action stuff. Likewise with tokusatsu, I did get a little bit burnt out a while ago, which is why I kind of slowed down on tokusatsu and I started watching anime again. Like I dove into like Love and Pop, the Ava rebuilds, the Code Geass movies, fucking Onisamai. I rewatched Utena, Karekano. I watched so much more anime because I haven't seen it in a while. Like I hadn't sat down and watched anime for a while, and I kind of paused tokusatsu. And then when I went back to tokusatsu, I was watching Ryuki. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm really getting into Ryuki now. I was way more into it. Likewise with games, right? I stopped playing games for a while, and then when I go back, like it's a new game that I'm into, right? Let's say I haven't played video games for months, and then Poke Road came out. I played that shit fucking 24/7, bro, for like at least 2 months. It's so fun, and it's like because you haven't gone back to it in a while, and then when you refresh, it's like fuck, I missed this. Right, but then when you go into it over and over, you finish one, you start another, you're kind of forcing yourself into it, and you kind of get tired, and you don't necessarily fall out of love with it, but it's just not the same as it was before, right? I think I'd rather just let myself like watch stuff at my own pace, even if it lets stuff pile up on my watch list. There's stuff on my watch list that's been there for like 5 years. I still want to watch so much stuff, like off the top of my head, right? Just anime, Birdie the Mighty, Gunsmith Cats, Record of Lotus War, Irresponsible Captain Tyler, Princess Tutu, Lucky Star, I want to finish that. I want to watch the Haruhi OVAs. I want to finish watching Ouran High School Host Club, which I didn't finish because it got taken off of Netflix, and I want to watch the dub, but I want to watch the version of the opening in Japanese, and I want to switch between them, right? Haven't finished the Sailor Moon anime, even though I don't think I want to finish it, but whatever. There's so much anime I want to watch, so much manga I own in my collection that I haven't read yet. I own all of Ghost in the Shell and I haven't even touched it. Paradise Kiss, Rookies I haven't finished, and I own all of it. Fucking Azumanga Daioh, Old Boy, Go Ranger, Tomie, Levius, I always forget what that's called, Saint Seiya, Sayuki. So many that I own that I haven't read yet, and I want to, and not just manga, like actual books. Over there I have a bunch of books by Carl Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche, Karen Ornay, that I want to read because it's interesting to me. I want to reread Araki's manga in theory book just because, right? I want to finish reading Xenogears Perfect Works, but I just haven't had the time. And if I really forced myself to do it, I don't think I'd have that good of an experience. Like, cause I just want to get through it. I want to get through it, so I want to watch, so I can get to the next thing, and then I just end up not absorbing it as well. I don't take my time. I don't really think about it. I just want to get through with it. And that's just my experience, right? And then that also feeds into the idea that binging is kind of bad for media analysis, right? You're just consuming the media, you're absorbing it, but you're not savoring it, right? You're not really thinking about it as much as you would if you're taking your time, if you have nothing to watch after, you didn't watch anything right before. It's just this, and you're taking it as its own individual work. When you think about it, what it's trying to say, what it's doing, why it's doing these things, what it's trying to accomplish with which each individual aspect, all of that leads to more enjoyment. But then when you're just watching to watch, just doesn't give you the same experience, man. Same thing with music. Like a lot of the time when I find myself just trying to get through an album, I realize that I don't really listen to each song. I just try to hear them and finish the album just so I can say I finished it. And then I catch it halfway through and I'm like, fuck, I don't remember half of these songs, so I have to go back and re-listen to them each a couple times so I really catch them. Right? Fuck, with games, that didn't really happen to me too much because games are more of an active thing, right? But even still, it happened to me with Xenosaga 1 and 2. I didn't really absorb it, no, specifically Xenosaga 1. I didn't absorb as much as that game as I probably should, because I was just so focused on trying to get through it and reading the guide that I wasn't really absorbing everything that was going on. And by the time I was playing Xenosaga 2, I was, well, not confused. I could follow the events, but I didn't really understand it, I guess is the word. Because I got it. No, I understood it, but I didn't get it. I think is what I'm saying, right? I didn't get what they were trying to say, or where everything was going. Obviously, by the time I got to Xenosaga 3, I slowed down. I was like, okay, this is where we're going. I kind of gathered myself, and I took it a little bit slower, and I understood. Right? But Xenosaga 1 and 2 are really, really dense games, and they're really, like, they're good. They're really fucking good games. If you haven't played Xenosaga, please play the trilogy, right? Amazing fucking games. But, like I was saying, these are games you have to take a little bit of time to digest, and I just fucking sped through them trying to get through it, right? I did that also through, like, the middle half of Xenogears. Well, not the middle half. Like, I'd say the entire Ave segment. I think Ave is the desert one. Yeah, the whole thing with Bart. I love Bart's storyline as a character, but most of the stuff in the desert with that Coop storyline didn't really catch me, and it didn't really help the fact that it was the very, very start of everything. So you were wondering, what the fuck is this massive world? When they dumped that on you in the beginning, and then right after Dazil, the story kind of shrinks back in scale into this one little conflict that is really important, but it doesn't give you the information you want. So you're stuck there like, okay, this is cool. I like this. I like Bart. He's cool. But what the fuck is going on? Right? Then you get like little breadcrumbs until you meet Ellie, and then, you know, everything that goes on, the story starts speeding up, right? But it did speed to that. Xenoblade 1, I can't say anything but because I just don't like that game. But it happens, like when you're just trying to get through something, you don't really appreciate it as much, you don't think about it as much. And yes, while I do agree that not a lot of media... okay, let me rethink this, because I was about to say isn't worth thinking about, but yes, it is worth thinking about. Not a lot of it is as in-depth as a lot of other things. Like, I'm not gonna spend as much time thinking about Konosuba as I would about fucking Vagabond or Nana or something, right? But it's still really important to just think about it. If you don't like it, think about why you don't like it, right? Because then you'll have a better idea of what you do and don't like, which will be better for you in the future, so you don't waste your time watching stuff that you might not like. Or then you'll be able to catch signs of, hey, this is going in a direction I don't like, I'm just gonna drop it, right? So you don't waste your time. And then when you do like something, think about why you like it. Think about what the author was trying to do, and did they do it successfully? Did they succeed? Did they not? Why did you like the fact that they succeeded or not? Why did it, give you that reaction? Not only as a fan, but then also, if you want to be a creative, if you want to be a creator, this helps you immensely as a writer, as an artist, as a singer, as a producer, as a programmer, as a modeler, animator, fucking anything. Right? If you know what you like, why you like it, what you don't, why you don't like it, it's a massive, massive help to yourself just to be able to study these things, to be able to understand these things, right? But to do this, you need to really slow down and listen and think, right? You don't rush to these things. And again, I know I sound really pretentious because at the end of the day, all of this is entertainment, right? But I'm coming from the standpoint of this is art, and it does exist to entertain you, but the author wants to say something too. And if I really enjoy something, I want to know what the author is trying to say to me, right? If I really enjoy it. If I don't, I'll probably think to myself why I don't enjoy this. And if it's not interesting, then I'll just drop it. But if it's interesting and I still don't enjoy it, I want to think about that more, right? And again, this also helps because if you understand what you don't like, then you won't waste time on entertainment that isn't going to entertain you, right? But also, this will also help you. It would be really, really presumptuous to say that it would help you emotionally and mentally. But art does have that effect. It helps you think, it helps you reflect, it helps you understand yourself, the world around you, other people. It gives you a new perspective. And fuck, even if you're watching something as simple as Konosuba or fucking Azumanga Daioh, right? Not to compare those two, because Azumanga Daioh, the manga is a lot better, but I digress. But again, just broadening your horizons, it can help you a lot also as a person in your personal life, right? That's why art exists, to say something. Whether it be, again, comic books, regular books, video games, movies, TV shows, poems, music, anything. And before you say anything about video games, yes, I know that a lot of video games are just made for the combat. Like, I don't really think Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is trying to tell its audience something, but there are other games that do want to tell its audience something. Tetsuya Takahashi, I'm sorry if I'm using Xeno as an example a lot, but it's just my favorite game franchise. Tetsuya Takahashi has gone on record saying that the reason he wanted to, part of the reason why he made Xenogears into like a cool mecha anime game is because that's pretty much the best way to make teenagers and young people listen to these ideas from these philosophers that he really admires, that him and Soraya Saga admire so much, right? I know me personally, if it weren't for me having loved Xenoblade 2 and 3 and then Xenogears, I probably wouldn't give a fuck what Carl Jung, Karen Ornay, Jacques Lacan, or Friedrich Nietzsche have to say. Well, Friedrich Nietzsche, I did study him for school, but not the other ones, right? I wouldn't give a fuck. But now they're some of my favorite people to study, like, what they think, right? Both as a person and as a creative, because of these fucking video games, right? Because they were saying something. Even if I don't exactly agree with them, it like helps me learn, right? And another thing that this helps is just helping foster conversations and communication online. Like, have you ever had one of these conversations with someone that like disagrees with you completely on a topic, like on a story, they have a completely different reading or interpretations of the characters or the arcs or the message, but you end up like, you really like the conversation, you keep going because like, hey, why do you think that? I actually interpreted that this way, right? It's because I related to this character this way, but I can see why you think that. I still disagree though, because this. That's fun because you're learning from a different perspective, but you both appreciate this thing. And you see, like, and then when you replay it or rewatch it, you're like, oh, I can see where they were coming from, right? But then if you like change your opinion, then that's cool. But if you don't, then you still have an appreciation for what other people might think. You broaden your horizons, right? It's good to have these conversations with people. It fosters community. You know what happens when you don't have a community that like encourages media literacy and actually thinking about what the fuck you're reading? You get Chainsaw Man's community. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love Chainsaw Man. I'll put up a picture here in my collection of Fire Punch, Chainsaw Man, and all the Fujimoto shit I have. I fucking love the man and his writing. But the fucking community, man, jeez, y'all saw that tweet, I think it was today, saying that his drawing of Captain America didn't mean anything and it was just cool. Like, I'm so embarrassed to be a fan of Chainsaw Man, especially after the sexual assault shit with Denji. fuck, man. But then there's also the opposite end. You got Jujutsu Kaisen. We got a community of people that read too much into it, but they get kind of lost in their own interpretations. They don't really think about what the author's been writing and his own track record, and they end up just writing fanfic because they don't take into account what kind of author Gege Akutami is, and they just get lost in their own like interpretations of things, how they see things, right? And it's cool, but it also ends up fostering a lot of not misinterpretation necessarily, but a lot of conflict when things don't pan out the way you thought they would, because they were never going to pan out that way. Gojo fans, like, but another thing I love about just being able to really have your own interpretation of these things is, another thing I love is that it's never going to be objectively correct. You're never, well, almost never going to have the exact same interpretation that the author intended. And I'll promise you that. I'm a massive fan of Evangelion. You anime fans, you guys know the fucking myriad of interpretations of Evangelion from every single point of view imaginable, right? And Hideaki Anno himself is on a mission to debunk every single one of these interpretations. Jury's still out on whether or not he's trolling or not, because there's a lot of things that you can almost be certain that he intended, but then he'll say he didn't. But, you know, if I was an author, I'd probably also say no to the things that I did intend just to fuck with people. Another one that has a lot of these interpretations is Utena. I'm a massive fan of Utena, but God, that fucking show has so many different interpretations. And Utena Twitter knows very well how people react to quote-unquote incorrect interpretations of Utena. Fuck, man. Another one is Xenoblade, specifically Xenoblade 3. After Future Redeemed, fuck. The discourse behind those connections to Xenosaga was, oh my god. And the Ontos truthers and Alvis truthers. But again, like, thinking about these things, taking your time, instead of just like absorbing everything, instead of like binging everything, if you take your time to think about it, you'll end up enjoying it. You'll appreciate it more because you get more out of it. You can connect more to it. And then when you like separate yourself from this piece of media for a while, and then after a month or two, you're reminded of it because you see a clip posted online. You'll be like, oh fuck, man, I remember watching this show. I fucking love that show. And then you go on YouTube and you'll watch a video on it, and you're like, man, this show really hit me hard. It makes those it gives you these fond memories about it that'll never go away. That's me with so many shows that are like short and sweet, but they stuck with me. Like Durarara, Haruhi Suzumiya, fucking Clannad, right? Tokyo Ghoul, Magus Bride. A lot of shows that I don't really talk about too much, but I remember it every now and then, and I'm like, man, I missed that show. That was good. And again, it's because you kind of take your time and you really feel it, you enjoy it, instead of just absorbing it. I can tell you so many shows that I probably should have taken my time with that I just absorbed and I didn't end up enjoying. Lucky Star is one of them. I didn't even end up finishing it. Right, Kamen Rider Decade. I didn't end up enjoying it too much. What's another one, man? Like, I'm trying to think, because the thing is, when this happens, they become forgettable. K-Project, man, I forgot fucking everything. Devil is a part-timer. Ajin. Homunculus, like, I really liked it, and it's a really, really good manga, but I did kind of just blow through it because I was reading so much. This was during the pandemic era, and I didn't let it sit, because at the time I was also watching Utena, and Utena was more like on the forefront of my mind. And I regret that. I really should have given Homunculus more of a chance. Same with Vagabond, kind of, but that's also because Vagabond is really dense serious, and I obviously just one read through won't give you everything. But yeah, like, for me, I wouldn't want to spend my entire life just consuming media. Even though my entire self, who I am, has been completely dictated by the media I have loved. If I didn't like the anime I liked, I wouldn't be the person I am today. The video games, the tokusatsu, the music. Hell, if I didn't like the music I like today, I probably wouldn't even fucking be alive right now. Full stop. Right? It's so important to me, but at the same time, spending my entire time just absorbing things would probably kill me on the inside. And I'm not just speaking as a creator, someone that loves to create things, like obviously art, writing, I want to make music, YouTube videos now that I'm making them. I'm also speaking just kind of as a person. Because if I just spend my entire time consuming media, I'll get tired of it. And I won't have that appreciation for these things I love. They won't be as special to me anymore as they are right now. And that's why I don't really want to make them my entire life. And I'm not trying to dictate what you should do. I'm not trying to tell you this is how you should be. I'm just talking about my own experience, right? I may sound like a massive fucking hypocrite here, right? Because my entire channel is dedicated to these shows that I like. Right here you can see a little Bochi the Rock icon. There's Godzilla -1, there's Akira. You can barely see it, but this is an End of Evangelion poster right here. And I got anime stickers all over my water bottle. Like, I can sound like a massive hypocrite. You can say that, and that's fine. I can see why I could be a hypocrite saying this right now. But for me, while media is inherently entertainment, when it comes to its purpose, not its purpose, but rather its function. Its purpose is a message, it's art. And I just think it's really important to try to understand that art. It's not only just paying respects to the artist, but also respect to yourself, because you grow, right? It's really anything, right? From the most unexpected things, you'll find something to connect to. Something that you feel really understands you as a person. Whether it be a manga, like for me, a manga that really like feels personal to my own lived experience is not How to Read Relationship. God. Forgot the name. Oh, fuck, no. Whatever. But anime, Bochi the Rock. That's the biggest one that's been like my entire personality recently. Then music. I could just say Otto and Bin, because they've been my favorites for fucking years. But recently, another one that's really been important to me has been MF Doom. Not only has his entire music been something that I loved, just like musically as a listener, right? But also just reading the lyrics and understanding what he's talking about. It feels so personal, I guess, a lot of the time, especially when he's talking about his brother. Like in Questions from Operation Doomsday. But he's a poet at heart. He's a poet. And then I realized when I started listening to him that most of the hip hop I've loved so much my entire life has been influenced by him. He like, that was his fucking style. And then fuck, video games, Xenoblade 3 and Xenosaga 3. It's like you'll never know what you connect to when you really think about it. And you sometimes really, really need to think about it in order to find those connections. Because in Evangelion, a lot of things that I relate to the most are kind of implied, or not necessarily up to interpretation, but not spelled out to you. Specifically with characters like Asuka and Rei. In Onisama, a lot of the writing with Mariko is not really spelled out to you. Like, if you're paying attention, it is, but if you're not really paying attention, if you're just watching to watch, Mariko I can understand why someone might think Mariko is like annoying or mean, but to me, she's like my favorite. Like, she's the realest character in the show. Anthe in Utena, there's a lot of people that hate her, but when you really think about it, like, there's so much to relate to, but you have to really chew it. You have to really sit with it for a while to really understand not what it's saying, but what it says to you, what you think it's saying to you. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get to with this whole ramble. The most important thing is finding what something means to you as a person, because that's what differentiates you from all the other fans in the world. That's what makes you different from all the YouTube video essayists that you watch that tell you how they feel about Evangelion's ending, right? Well, you might not agree that the end of Evangelion is a happy ending, even if you watch that video that says it is. And that's fine, because it's about what it says to you. Right? That's what affects you as a person, what it does to you. And when you understand that, you can better understand yourself, you can better understand the work. And you grow as a person. Right? You appreciate that, other things more. You can talk to other people about their interpretations, learn more about them through their interpretations of said media. There's just so much to gain that's just lost when you just consume for the sake of consuming. And it's a shame. I'm not saying that it's bad to just try to entertain yourself mindlessly, right? That's not a bad thing. I do that a lot. The reason I started watching Bocchi the Rock was because of that, even though it ended up being my favorite, one of my favorite anime of all time. But there's such a special connection with the things that really do resonate with you, that I feel like it would be a shame to really not give that opportunity to every to everything that you think could resonate with you. Because fuck, you never know what's the next thing that might change your life, or save it, even. I guess what I'm trying to say is, think about what you're watching, man. Stay with it for a while. Don't just like speed through it, just to say you've watched it on Twitter, and to be able to read the newest chapters and follow along with the live tweets, right? Actually try to see if it means something to you, if it says something to you. And if it doesn't, you can still be a fan. Like, I'm a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen and Kagurabachi, even though they're not really for me, really. But I'd still call myself a fan. But Ruby is something I shit on all the time. I have like 5 unedited, unreleased videos where I was just ranting around thinking about Ruby. But I'm still a fan of Ruby. Because it means something to me. Even though I think it's not really good. But it means something, right? But yeah. I just encourage anyone that can to really think about the media you're watching, listening to, playing, reading, anything. You might find something valuable there. If it's not valuable to someone else, it might be valuable to you. And if it's not valuable to you, it might be valuable to someone else too. So much art in the world. It's a waste to not let yourself experience it and feel new things, learn new things. So much more, man. It's not everything, and you shouldn't dedicate your life to it. But there's something there to be gained by really sitting there and trying to understand. But there's one thing you need to understand that's more important than all of this, and it's that I appreciate you watching this video. And I'd appreciate it more if you liked and subscribed. I'm still really awkward when it comes to saying that little spiel at the end, but I'd appreciate it, right? Not that I'm really trying to grow or anything, but I'm just trying to see, because I'm trying to get better at editing and recording and everything, every video. And I'd appreciate feedback when it comes to just the quality. Even if you're not listening to what I'm saying. The point of this YouTube channel is just for me to rant and get better at editing. And if you're listening to me, if you're right here listening to what I'm saying right now, I gotta thank you for actually listening to what the fuck I have to say. But that's it for today. I'll probably see you at the end of the week for the Gav episode review and a special video about this newest batch of Shonen Jump manga. I did read the first 2 chapters of Ichi the Witch and the first chapter of the spy manga by the Candy Flurry duo. I'll give you my thoughts when the first chapter of the new manga comes out. But see you guys next time.